When did your command finally admit they were wrong about a soldier? Private Cody Winters showed up to our unit straight from basic training. Skinny kid, thick glasses, couldn't do more than 5 pull-ups. Our first sergeant took one look at him and decided he was worthless. This kid's gonna wash out, Sergeant First Class Donovan announced during the morning briefing. Mark my words, he won't make it past his first PT test. Donovan had been in the Army 22 years, seen thousands of soldiers, prided himself on spotting weakness immediately. And Cody checked every box on his failure list. The company started treating Cody like he was already gone. Extra duty assignments, the worst work details. Nobody bothered learning his name. They just called him that kid who's gonna quit. I felt bad for him. Tried to help with push-ups after hours. But Cody struggled with everything physical. His hands would shake during rifle drills. He'd get winded walking upstairs. First PT test came around. Donovan gathered the entire company to watch. Everyone needs to see what happens when you show up unprepared, he said, pointing at Cody. Cody failed, badly. 14 push-ups, 6 pull-ups. Couldn't finish the 2-mile run without walking. Donovan wrote him up immediately. Started discharge paperwork. You've got 60 days to pass or you're out, Donovan told him in front of everyone. Start packing your bags, kid. You're done. That's when something changed in Cody. Instead of giving up, he became obsessed. Every spare moment was spent training. Before breakfast, during lunch, after dinner, the gym became his second home. But Donovan didn't notice. He'd already written Cody off completely. Started routing the discharge papers up the chain of command. Week 8, our unit got tasked with a field training exercise. 3 days in the woods, full combat simulations. Cody got assigned to headquarters element because Donovan didn't trust him in a real squad. Second night, everything went wrong. Our communications went down during a simulated enemy attack. Radio equipment completely dead. No way to coordinate between units or call for support. While everyone panicked, Cody disappeared into the communications truck. We figured he was hiding like usual. Donovan was furious. Where's that worthless private? Probably crying somewhere. 30 minutes later, radios crackled back to life. Every single one. Perfect signal strength. Cody emerged from the truck covered in grease, holding a broken circuit board. Found the problem, he said quietly. Voltage regulator was fried. Bypassed it with components from the backup radio. Should hold until we get proper parts. The communications officer stared at him. How did you know how to do that? Electrical engineering degree from MIT, Cody said, adjusting his glasses. Worked for Raytheon designing military radio systems before I enlisted. Figured the Army could use someone who actually understands this equipment. Dead silence. Donovan's face went pale. You have a degree from MIT? Yeah. Joined the Army because I wanted to serve. Thought I could do more good fixing things in the field than designing them in a lab. Turns out Cody's entire personnel file was incomplete. His college transcripts never got properly uploaded. His civilian work experience was buried in paperwork that nobody bothered to read. The company commander showed up the next morning, pulled Donovan aside. They talked for 20 minutes. I watched Donovan's expression change from angry to confused to absolutely mortified. Commander gathered everyone for an announcement. Private Winters has been incorrectly assigned. Effective immediately, he's being transferred to the communications battalion as a specialist. His rank will be adjusted to reflect his education level and expertise. Donovan had to stand there and listen while the commander praised Cody's technical skills. Had to watch while they promoted the kid he'd tried to kick out. After the ceremony, Donovan pulled Cody aside. We all watched from a distance. Donovan was clearly apologizing. Cody just nodded, shook his hand, stayed professional. Later that day, Donovan called the company formation. His voice was rough, like the words were physically painful to say. I was wrong about Private Winters. Completely wrong. I judged him on physical performance without knowing anything about his actual capabilities. That's on me. He paused, looking directly at Cody. I tried to discharge one of the most qualified soldiers in this battalion because he couldn't do pull-ups. That's the kind of leadership failure that gets people killed in combat. The formation was silent. Nobody had ever heard Donovan admit he was wrong about anything. From now on, I'm reading every personnel file completely, and I'm asking each of you what you're actually good at instead of assuming I know. Cody spent the next 3 years revolutionizing our communication systems, designed new training programs, saved the Army millions by fixing equipment instead of replacing it, got promoted to sergeant ahead of schedule, earned a Bronze Star during deployment for keeping communications running during a major operation. 5 years later, Cody's a warrant officer, one of the youngest in the entire Army, teaches advanced communications at the signal school, still can't do more than 8 pull-ups, still wears thick glasses, still looks like he'd blow over in a strong wind, but he's probably the most valuable soldier his branch has ever produced. Donovan retired 2 years ago. At his ceremony, he told that story himself, called it the most important lesson of his career. I almost threw away a genius because I was too lazy to look past the surface, he said. Don't make my mistake. He keeps a photo in his office. Him and Cody shaking hands at that field training exercise. Reminder that sometimes the weakest looking soldier is exactly who you need most.